Good afternoon and welcome to the Business News and People Who Make a Difference. I'm your host, Jamie Lee. Today we visit with Peter and Tracy Flucke of We Bike ETC. I just pedaled up to the home of Peter and Tracy Flucke. Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. I just took off my helmet because you guys are really instrumental in bike safety and education for local people. First, Tell me where you guys are from and why biking is so important to you.
We both grew up in the Milwaukee area, me in Wauwatosa and him in Sherwood, and we've been in Ashwaubenon for about 30 years. And bicycling is so important for us because it's when we had young children, it was a family thing. And we could go out and bike and we get exercise and do things as a family. And we just continued to do it. And then as we got older and our girls got older and busier, we knew we needed to do something for just the two of us. And that's when we got our tandem and started riding a tandem together so we could get out and keep not only our family strong by riding together, but our marriage strong by riding a tandem together.
I love that. So first it was a passion for yourself and your family. And Peter, then tell us, you were in the private sector, law enforcement and the park and rec, but you decided to bring this concept further and to educate and to help other people enjoy the sport.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got a background in parks and recreation, so that's the health, the fitness, the environmental part of walking and biking. But I was also a Minnesota police officer a number of years and a bike patrol officer. And that's where I started really understanding the safety aspect of it. It's great to go for a ride, but if you're not doing it safely, it's no fun for anyone. And so put those two concepts together and actually made a career out of training law enforcement officers, pedestrians, bicyclists, children, adults, anybody about pedestrian and bicycle safety, all of that.
Yeah.
I love that. So we have the backstory. Let's get down to the wheels and the sprockets of the safety. Maybe give me some demonstrations.
Absolutely.
Okay, very special segment. Peter is going to show me the ABC
Quick check.
Quick check for bike safety. What do you got?
Well, this is what we do every single time we ride because we want to make sure that you're not having a problem, a crash, because your bike wasn't, adjusted properly. The first thing is air, and we want to check and make sure that there's enough air pressure in the tires. You can do it with a pump, but if you don't have one, you can just push down on it, push it up against the curb. If they're not inflated properly, make sure you pump them up.
So is it supposed to be really taut? Is it really?
It depends on the bike, but generally speaking, you shouldn't be able to push it, indent it with your thumb. I get a little teeny bit of give out of here, but it's going to be firm. You don't want to hit a bump or something like that and have your tire go flat. That's why it's that. B is for brakes. Easy to remember, right?
Most important.
Exactly. You've got a front and a rear brake. You want to make sure that the brake levers don't come back all the way to the handlebar. You want to be able to get a thumb in there. You also want to be able to give the wheel a spin and just put on the brakes and make sure it stops.
You got the brakes on.
I know, right? You've got a front brake and you've got a rear brake. So you want to make sure they're both working.
Got it.
A is for air, B is for brakes, C is for the crank arms, the pedals. You want to make sure that those are attached, they're in there firmly, and the chain. You can just give it a little backspin, make sure it's running through there smooth. It should be quiet. If it's not, you can lubricate it. The quick is for some bikes have a quick release on the seat. You want to make sure that's in place. And also, they'll have them on the wheels here, so you want to make sure that the wheel is secured safely to the front and the rear fork.
Okay.
Last part of this check, you want to just take a little ride, just like you did a minute ago, make sure the bike is working properly and everything feels right. If that's what you do every single time, you're never going to have a problem when you're out on the road.
So these are some of the things that you teach people before they go ride so everyone in our community is safe. Part of your program?
Not only do I teach this to average people, we don't let bike cops on their bikes without doing that check.
I love that. We Bike ETC. Okay, now we're with the two blonde bikers. Yay. Tracy, tell me about some of your history and how it translates into your business now at We Bike.
Okay. I have been in municipal government for about 30 years. I worked for many years as a parks and recreation professional, so building parks, building trails, all that kind of things, so people could move through the community and have fun and get out in the parks.
And where was that?
I was in Minnesota for a while, in Savage, Minnesota, and then I was a parks and recreation director in Ashwaubenon for about 12 years.
Right here.
Then I got my master's, and I became an administrator, and I was administrator in the town of Harrison, which is down in the valley. And then I also was an administrator in the Village of Ashwaubenon, just across the river here.
And then when you decided to go into the private business,
Yep.
what did you want to help the community with? How did you want to make a difference with your love of bikes?
Well, our business, Peter had started our business in 1994. It's called We Bike ETC. And basically what we do is we use education, enforcement, and engineering, sorry, for building healthy communities and bike and pedestrian friendly communities. So in 2014, when we decided to bicycle across the country on our first trip, I left my job in Alloway and came to work full-time with our business. And we do a lot of work with law enforcement officers, we do a lot of work with engineers and building facilities, whether it's trails or sidewalks that are more bicycle and pedestrian friendly, roads that they're designing to help it be more bicycle and pedestrian friendly. We work with planners, we work with advocates, so really anything to make communities or areas more bicycle and pedestrian friendly and healthier for the community.
And tell us about this program. You said you guys really like to help out with this one.
Yes, we work with an organization called Wello, which is a wellness organization in the greater Green Bay area. And they have a program called Yield to Your Neighbor. And basically it's a crosswalk enforcement activity that they do. And almost all the law enforcement agencies in the area do it. They publicize the dates they're going to have it. They tell everybody where they're going to be. And it's basically to teach the public as well as law enforcement officers that in a crosswalk, the pedestrian has the right of way, and the motor vehicle drivers need to stop.
That is good to know, especially in a small town.
Yes.
It seems like we forget that people come first, not the cars.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's a really good program, and it's been going for many years now, and more communities like Pulaski got involved this year. Maybe someday Shawano will get involved in it as well. So we do a lot of that with Wello. We also are involved with, we do a lot of volunteer with the Green Bay Bicycle Collective, which basically, they want every third grader in the area to have a bike and learn how to ride it properly. And they have an Earn a Bike program where you can go to their garage and work in the garage and earn a bike. You can also get bikes there that they refurbish that are much cheaper for people to bike, whether it's an adult bike or a child's bike. We do a lot of work with the Bayshore Bike Club, which is just a local bicycle club that advocates for better biking facilities in the area.
You guys are so busy. When do you have time to even bike?
That's the thing. That's the problem. Yes.
Well, we appreciate all your hard work. We can tell that anything to do with bikes, you two are the people to contact. Let's go for a ride.
Sounds good.
Let's go. We were just speaking privately of how amazing this is to be outside and connect with nature and to get physically active for our mental health. It's not just about transportation, it's full circle community health.
Absolutely.
We laugh about it because people think that it's about bicycling, but it's not. It's about leading your best life. For us, it's a means to an end. And part of the reason that the walking and biking issues are so important to us is that they're the least common denominator. Everybody is getting out and walking and biking. A third of most communities, they can't even drive. They're either too young or disabled in some manner. And if we make our communities better for people who want to walk and people who want to bicycle, we make it better for everyone. And so that's really the essence. I mean, I'm much happier riding my bike over to the post office than I am driving my car.
In traffic.
Exactly.
Yes.
Any of that.
Yes.
So you truly are making a difference for our communities and living out a dream.
Right.
You took a risk, a leap of faith,
Yeah.
decided also, let's get into some of these awesome things that you've also done. You've biked tandem across the country, you've written books, you have a new book coming out.
Yep.
Tell the audience, if they are thinking about doing something different, how to chase their dreams, to be brave enough to make this difference in their own life so it ripples to everyone else.
You know, it's a hard decision. You know, you pack up everything and you go and you're gone for, 4 months on our first trip. But if you have a dream and you want to do it, we encourage you to just go. We don't expect anyone to bike across the country on a tandem, but if your dream or your desire is to bike down the street or bike to the post office or go bike to the library, whatever it may be, do it. Just go for it. You can wait only so long and then the time gets away from you. So for us, you know, we just had thought about it for many years and finally decided we just need to do this before we're too old and that we can't do it.
And don't think that we just one day got up
Yes.
and decided
No.
to jump on a tandem bicycle and ride across the country.
A lot of
Although
work.
we have met people, usually after they've been out for a couple,
Yeah.
have decided, yes, let's go do that. But in our case, we had been working up to it. When Tracy would get done with work, when we first moved here, we'd go ride around the block, and then we'd ride a little farther. Then we wondered what was down the next road. And so we built and built and built, and it wasn't until we were doing 3-week unsupported bicycle tours on our own when Grandma and Grandpa would take the kids, that we said, you know, if we would just put a bunch of 3-week trips together,
We could do
I
this.
think we could ride across the country.
And you did it.
And we did it.
It was close,
Yes.
but yeah, we did
Yep.
it.
You did it.
Yep.
Well, I am so proud to meet you. I'm
Too.
so happy that you have found your passion and making a difference in the meanwhile. So check out We Bike ETC for more of education, mental health, advocacy, and fun. Now it's time to ride. Let's go
There you
Tando.
go. Yay.
Tando. What a fun day with Peter and Tracy. This is Jamie Lee signing off for the Business News, reminding you that working with a purpose makes all the difference.